Salty, salty. Is anybody salty this morning? You know, that phrase, that one word has says a whole lot, and it generally means when we are using it in just a everyday kind of a thing, somebody might be a little bit upset, salty. Well, let's look at it again for the first time through the lens of the text. It's going to be the text, the talk, the takeaway. But before we do all of that, want to greet some people on this morning. You know what? I feel better than I sound. I can tell you that I feel better than I sound. I tell you already, you may not believe it, but I'm up and at 'em and ready to go. What a wonderful day today. Finally feeling like myself, even if I don't sound like myself. Good morning, Brother Nesbitt. How are you on this morning? Brenda, how are you? Ramona, how are you? Francine, how are you? Carolyn, how are you on this morning? Great morning it is. Verena, how are you doing on this morning? It's all about being salty. Who's salty? Well, we're going to talk about that in a moment. But I need to greet some more people and then get right into the word on this morning. Ella, how are you? Patricia, how are you? How are you all doing on this morning? Erica, how are you on this morning? Coach Dagny, how are you doing on this morning? This morning is all about salty, salty, salty. That's right. You know what? We use that a lot. But this morning, I want you to hear it again for the first time from a different way, totally. Good morning, Elder Jan. How are you? Adrian, how are you? LaFawn, how are you on this morning? Let's get right into it on this morning. It's all about salty, salty, salty. The text to talk, the takeaway, 5 minutes or less. Let's get into it. You already know where I'm going. I'm going to Matthew. It's the Beatitude. It's Jesus who is preaching, and he is on the side of the mountain, and he's giving out these sayings or these words that are akin to the same thing that Moses does when he comes to the mountain. That's the parallel of this text. Jesus is giving the word as Moses is giving the word, and he's saying this in Matthew 5:13. Matthew 5:13, you are the salt of the earth. You are the salt of the earth. I want to raise the question today. I want to raise the question. How salty are you? How salty are you? The first thing, when I think of being salty, the first thing that comes to my mind is salt brings the best out of things. You put some salt on food, it brings the taste. It could be bland. It doesn't. It's not where it needs to be. You put a little salt on it, it brings the taste. Who are you bringing the best out of? Who are you sprinkling your life on to the point that the best of them is coming out? It's the second thing. The second thing I want to share with you, it makes things sweet. You say, really, Bishop? I want you to check this out. Look at chocolate and look at the ingredients of chocolate, and you need some salt. You need some salt. You know, you may not first thing comes to your mind, but I want to raise the question this morning. Not only who are you bringing the best out of by sprinkling your life on them, whose life are you making sweeter because they are in relationship with you? Whose life are you making sweeter because they are in relationship with you? Here's the third thing. Salt makes you want some water. It arouses a thirst. It arouses a thirst. I always say this, it's old school, you eat some fried chicken, trust and believe you're going to need something to drink. You better bring that iced tea in a hurry, okay? It brings about a thirst. Whose life are you sprinkling on to the point that they thirst after the water of Christ? He said he is a well of living water. Take a cup of him and you won't want any more of regular water. I want to raise the question, whose life Are you sprinkling on to the point that is causing them to want more of Jesus? Hmm. Are you sprinkling to bring a good taste out of someone's life, the sweetness out of their life, making their life sweeter? Are you causing them to want more of Jesus because of the sprinkling on them that you are bringing? What's your takeaway this morning? Here's your takeaway. Bottom line, I've been talking about it since the very beginning. Whose life are you seasoning? Whose life are you seasoning? Jesus said it in Matthew 5:13. You are the salt of the earth. But if you have lost your savor or saltiness, we are no more good than to be thrown out and trodden under men's feet. That's the word. Let's go season some people today. The Lord be with you today. His face shine upon you and give you peace. I'll see you tomorrow morning with more Morning Manna. Pray that my voice gets better because I feel great. Share the manna. Don't keep it to yourself. Bye now.